What's happening, guys? It's your girl Mina. Welcome back to my channel. And just before I went live, Fabrizio came out. It's not really a here we go yet. But Fabrizio came out and said that Sofyan Amrabat is signing his contract as we speak right now. So I imagine he will be the last incoming for Manchester United. But make sure you guys hit the like button on your way in. You know what it is. Road to 1K, all of that. We're going to rate Manchester United's window. We're going to talk a little bit about the window because I don't know. I feel a bit underwhelmed, if I'm being honest. And obviously, we're going to talk about that in a bit of detail. Of course, we previewed the game earlier today. Had two announcements today for Manchester United players in terms of new signings. Possibly a third before 11 p.m. UK time. Let's wait and see. Hopefully it happens while I'm actually on stream. But you guys know what it is. We're going to start, I think, with the main one, of course, which is, of course, Sofyan Amrabat to Manchester United. Listen, I need to know what number he's wearing. Can Man United let me know what number he's wearing ASAP so I can cop that shirt? They say you shouldn't fall in love with a loan signing, but I don't care. I've been wanting Amrabat at Manchester United for the last 12 months, and I'm so glad he's finally here. Well, not yet. He's not officially here, but he's nearly here. Big up to Palmeiras, says big up. Mina, shout out to Ricardo, says, yo, Mina, what's up? I hope you are good. Big up to Keegan, says, bring it on. That 1K is looking like it's around the corner. Someone tell KG, come out of hiding. Someone tell KG, I said, come out of hiding. He did say, he said it himself, when I get to 1K, we will play FIFA live on stream. But of course, for now, it's all transfer talk. And it's actually sad because I enjoyed doing these transfer talk shows over the last month and a half, basically, since I've started my channel. And now it's coming to an end, of course, until January. Today is, of course, D-Day. I got my Sky Sports set up right here, watching. You know, it's not transfer deadline day, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it's not transfer deadline day if you're not watching Sky Sports. I'll be very honest. It's not transfer deadline day. Like, I can watch it for the 12 hours, 14 hours during the day, and half of the time they're repeating the same stuff over and over again. But because it's transfer deadline day, I will be watching. And I feel like with social media, you get a lot of your news on Twitter nowadays before it even gets to mainstream media. So you get the Fabrizio, the David Ornstein, Di Marzio. You'll get those tweets out, and then within 30 seconds, maybe a minute later, it's on Sky Sports. But it is what it is. Big up to Claire. Red Scare Claire says, hey, Mina. Hey, I hope you are doing great. But the big elephant in the room, guys, starting with the incomings, of course, is Sofyan Amrabat to Manchester United. 10 million euro fee, which is, I don't know if it's a lot or if it's not a lot at the same time. I've seen different opinions from everybody. I've been talking about it with some of my friends, and I think for the fact that Chelsea paid 12 million for João Felix on a 6-month or less than that 5-month loan deal, 4 months, January, February, March, April, May. Okay, 5 months. They paid 12 million for João Felix for 5 months. I think 10 million for a full season actually might be worth it. And on top of that, with an option to buy of 20 million plus 5 million in add-on, Sofyan Amrabat's contract is expected to expire next summer, but I have a feeling that it's most likely Fiorentina will obviously trigger the 1-year extension that he has and then sell him so they don't lose him on a free. One thing I can say is good riddance that Manchester United did not kind of let the risk play out and maybe go for him next summer instead. Instead, they thought, let's get him on a loan. However, I am not solely happy about the fact that it's a loan deal. I don't think we are a team that should be getting so many loan deal players. Financially, Manchester United setup financially is not looking the most great at the moment, which is why, as a result, that is happening. Another thing that is kind of annoying, I guess, is that I feel like for so long we needed a midfielder. Amrabat had been a target alongside other midfielders, of course. So why did we waste? And I'm not saying that Mason Mount, Rasmus Højlund, etc., that we wasted money on them, but I feel like we overspent there, and as a result, we kind of had to do a bit of bargaining on this side and go for a loan deal. Whereas if we had, you know, maybe negotiated the Rasmus Højlund deal, we might have been able to save 10 million. Of course, I don't know. This is just all assumptions. But I do remember that initially Manchester United went in with a 60 million bid for Rasmus Højlund. Then they just jumped to 70-something million, whatever it was that Atalanta were asking for. Again, I don't think a club like us should be, you know, because in a way, this Amrabat signing is a stopgap in a way, because it's not a permanent deal. So who's to say that he will even come back to Manchester United next season? Who's to say that he might sign a longer extension, a new contract, with Fiorentina, because he might want to stay in Italy. Who's to say that, you know, in this 1 year loan, he might not perform well? Who's to say that he actually performs well and other clubs get attracted to him? There's a lot of if, buts and maybes basically surrounding it. And I just don't feel like Manchester United should be doing that. I just don't think we should be doing that. But you guys can see here, two questions of this stream is basically rate Manchester United's incomings and rate Manchester United's outgoings. If there is an E next to their name, that means expired contract. And if there's an L, that means a loan. L doesn't mean a loss. It means a loan, of course. So obviously Sofyan Amrabat is going to be the last, most likely the last incoming for Manchester United of this window. Overall, 7 players in, nearly 200 million euros spent. Nearly, not even nearly, it's actually 200 million. It's actually 206 million, I think, in total spent across on all the transfers. Of course, we got Johnny Evans on a free. That don't make sense to me. Sorry, that wasn't meant to rhyme. But we got Johnny Evans on a free, and of course, that makes no sense to me. Big up to Claire, says, agreed that small club stuff. Shout out to Garsha, says, big up Mina, big up to Garsha. Big up Keegan, says, I've been saying this for weeks. Mount and Rasmus 125, Osherman 120 million. I agree. Not even just Osherman. I think even with the Kane thing, I feel like if we had, like, because really and truly Mount didn't fill a gap. We needed a midfielder and we brought Mason Mount, but Mason Mount wasn't the kind of profile of midfielder that we needed. We needed a ball carrying midfielder. We needed a pivot partner for Casemiro. We needed someone that can play in that middle part, and that's not Mason Mount. So I still don't get why we signed him, but it's one of them ones where I'm kind of just giving it some time to see how it pans out. And now he's injured now, so I guess we just have to wait a bit more with our opinion. But I know a lot of you guys are not fans of Mason Mount, and you lot are, of course, warranted for that. Big up, of course, to Steffi Jenks, says 22-22 on my end, a good sign. Still about an hour and 36 minutes left of the transfer window. Today, Manchester United did announce. Now, I'm going to try my best. Guys, I'm going to try my best to pronounce his name properly, because I kind of said it wrong earlier on the stream. And the reason why I'm actually happy to have him, his name is Altay Bayinde. I kept saying Bayinda. His name is Altay Bayinde. I think that's, if you're Turkish and I've just butchered the name, I do apologize, of course. But he's obviously joined Manchester United on a permanent deal, costing us 4.5 million euros. Backup goalkeeper, so it's one of them ones where, can we complain too much? I'm not too sure. But one thing I will say is that big up to him, because he's the first ever Turkish person to ever play for Manchester United. Not just that, this transfer window as a whole, the first ever Turkish player to play for Manchester United, first ever Moroccan player to play for Manchester United, first ever Cameroonian player to play for Manchester United. To some people that might not mean a lot, but I know what that means to a lot of people. And I'm just watching my screen right now, guys. Sky Sports is on. Brennan Johnson from Nottingham Forest to Tottenham for £47.5 million. What the hell? What on earth is that? Tottenham are just moving a bit crazy today. I've also seen about half an hour ago Hugo Lloris possibly joining Newcastle. Kasper Schmeichel, contract terminated at Nice. Do you guys remember when Kasper Schmeichel at the end of last season was on Monday Night Football talking about Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos as owners of Nice and how great they are. Well, look at that. Your contract's been terminated and now you're clubless. You're probably going to be retiring soon, but obviously big up to him. But of course, back to, sorry, I just got a bit sidetracked there. There's been a lot of movement in the transfer window today, and I genuinely cannot keep up with it. I saw Callum Hudson-Odoi going to Nottingham Forest. Obviously, they've let Brennan Johnson go. I still don't get how they sold him for 47.5 million. Maybe we're the only club that do not know how to sell. Maybe we are the only club that cannot offload our players, because you guys can see it down below as that scroller kind of goes past how many players we've actually had leave in this window in comparison to the valuations of what we got. I think Fred Elanga, Dean Henderson is probably what we got the most for, and that's probably what combined 35 million around that, maybe around that. There's about 35 million there. Eric Bailly, still, as of right now, still a Manchester United player. Another player that I thought would get offloaded at some point during the summer. Couldn't come to an agreement with Manchester United to get his contract terminated a couple weeks ago. Then we've got Kovar, Tellez, Iqbal, Mengi, David De Gea, contract expiring. Phil Jones, contract expiring. Axel Tuanzebe, contract expired. And then Brandon Williams, L. Yeah, he's an L, but also he went out on loan as well. So that's that. And today there's still news, I think, surrounding Greenwood. I think Getafe is currently the team that they're looking at in terms of sending him over there. So that is also another thing. But in terms of this transfer window, it's been, I think, a roller coaster. I wanted Mount to show us what he is about. Then he gets injured. I don't know what that was about. I'm really disappointed, because obviously new signing, you would want them to kind of come in and, you know, hit the ground running, be impressive, kind of shut critics up, or maybe prove the critics right, just have good performances. And we haven't been able to see that with Mason Mount. And I think it's just disappointing so far, especially with the whole injury thing. It also makes me question the fitness of the team, because people are just dropping like flies, and I'm worried that's going to continue to happen. Now, my biggest concern in this entire transfer window is that we have not signed a centre back, and I get it. We got Johnny Evans, who was announced today to sign a 1-year contract, but he is not going to play. Let's be realistic. As always, sirens. But like I said, Johnny Evans is realistically not going to play. He is not going to play at all, in my opinion. Maybe we might see him in the Carabao Cup, you know, because the round 3 is starting soon. Maybe we'll see him in that. But I don't anticipate to be seeing him in the Manchester derby, or in, you know, the games against Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, Newcastle, etc. I do not see him playing at all. So for me, I'm more confused as to why the hell we signed him. Why the hell we gave him a contract. But also, I'm also annoyed, I think, about the fact that we haven't signed a centre-back, because, there's some breaking news on Sky Sports right now, but I don't think it's going to be anything too tough. I don't think it's anything definitely related to Manchester United, because if we do get, here we go, from Manchester United, if we do get an announcement for Sofyan Amrabat, guys, please make sure you guys kind of let me know. Let me know, because I don't want to turn on Fabrizio's post notifications, just because he tweets a lot on transfer deadline day. Oh, I just saw something on my timeline. Oh, Fabrizio Romano, there you go, coming through with some information saying that Sofyan Amrabat is officially a Manchester United player. Only announcement pending. All documents have been completed between the clubs and the player as well, meaning he's going to wear the number 4 shirt, guys. He's going to wear the number 4 shirt, and I don't care. I've fallen in love with a loan signing. I don't care. I will be shameless. I will get his shirt, even if he doesn't stay next season, because I have high hopes for him. I think he is going to be a great player for Manchester United. I think he's going to be an engine. You know, like Fred, but just actually a good player. When I say this guy runs his socks off, he runs his socks off. And I think for what we miss with physicality, in our last 3 games, we've seen how much we've lacked strength and physicality. He is going to bring that. Remember, guys, him, he chased that time when he chased down Mbappe and absolutely hammered him into the ground. I can't wait to see him do that to players in the Premier League. I cannot wait. I'm excited. I think out of all the signings in the summer transfer window, I don't think actually, the last time I was probably, I wasn't excited for any summer transfers last summer. I wasn't really over the moon for any of them. Anthony, Ericsson, Casemiro, Malacia. I was happy with Malacia just because I've been following him when he was at Feyenoord, and I wanted United to sign him. I don't think United were going to sign him, to be honest. So I was kind of happy with that, but I wasn't really excited the way I'm excited about this signing right now for Sofyan Amrabat. I will say probably maybe the Ronaldo return, the comeback to Old Trafford, I was excited about that. But who wasn't? I think every single Manchester United fan was excited about that. Big up to Lil Yo-Yo saying, Mina, deal signed, Sofyan Amrabat, here we go. Where's the people? Here's the thumbs up. Here is the thumbs up. I remember, I've been saying, guys, for so long, big up to everybody, of course, but I've been saying for ages that Sofyan Amrabat would be a Manchester United player before the end of the window. I'm not going to lie, I started to lose a little bit hope. In the last few days, but I will be honest, I was told like a month and a bit ago, regarding the whole Sofyan Amrabat thing, regarding the terms. I was told before a lot of people knew regarding the fact that Manchester United were interested in him. I was aware that Man United was one of the 6 clubs that were interested in him. He had a deal with Turkey, and I did say this on my stream, so anybody who's watching, it might be news to you, but to others it might not be really real news. But I would say I was about 90% sure he would be a Man United player by the end of the season, but honestly, by the end of the transfer window, sorry. But in all honesty, guys, I have not been this excited when it comes to a signing in some time now. And the fact that it's a loan signing is peeing me off. Excuse my language. I know, like I said, people always say don't fall in love with loan signings. But honestly, I'm so ecstatic. I think the value that he will bring, my biggest worry is, and big up to Dead and Gone, brings it up. Perfect timing, says don't trust Premier League refs when it comes to Amrabat's technical challenges. I see a lot of undeserved yellows in his future. And the thing is like, one thing you will realize if you've watched Amrabat a lot is he doesn't dive into fouls. He's got good recovery pace. He doesn't dive into fouls. He's not like a reckless tackler. For example, do you remember when Casemiro, I think it was Palace game, when Casemiro got booked, and it was the Arsenal game the week after, and as a result, he missed the Arsenal game. In that situation, I don't think Amrabat would go flying in the way that Casemiro did. I'm not saying he's a better player than Casemiro. I'm not saying he makes better decisions. I'm just saying that in that situation, from what I've seen in Casemiro in comparison to Amrabat, I don't think that he would do that. However, I do think that it's going to be very interesting to see what Ten Hag does in terms of Casemiro, Amrabat. That's 2 big players. That is 2 big profiles. That's 2 big personalities. That's 2 big characters. How is he going to balance out having both in that midfield? And when he doesn't have them, how's he going to deal with the egos and all of that sort of stuff? Because one thing we've seen from Ten Hag is that he can deal with egos. That's one thing that we've definitely seen. But I think this is an instance where neither player would probably want to be benched. Both players probably would want to play. In the instance right now that Mount is out, and he is out for I think the next 4 weeks or so. So in the instance that Mount will be out until September, when it comes to the end of October and we're playing the Manchester derby, is he going to opt for a double pivot, or is Mount going to get the call up? And if so, who plays out of the 2 of them? Will it be Amrabat by himself or Casemiro by himself? I'm really interested to see how this is going to happen, because I don't feel like I've seen people saying that Amrabat's a 6, Casemiro's a 6. This whole idea of numbers when it comes to describing positions is funny to me. But from what I think Amrabat will be playing a bit more forward than Casemiro is. I think in terms of his ability to be involved in possession build up, attacking build up, all of that kind of stuff. His ability to get the ball forward, his dribbling ability, his ability to shield the ball off. I think he's better than Casemiro in those instances. However, I do think there's other instances that Casemiro kind of has up on him. I'll say that for sure. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Are you lot excited to see Amrabat? He's here. He's here and he's beautiful. I'm just waiting for that Man United picture. Honestly, guys, I'm just waiting for it, and I don't know where it is. Where is it? Should I send an email to Manchester United saying, where is it? Where is it? Let me check their Twitter page. Maybe I should turn on Man United's post notifications so that I get a notification as soon as they post. Because they posted an hour ago about Reguilon, and we're going to talk about that as well, of course. But I ain't trying to see Reguilon. I ain't trying to see all these other players. I want to see Sofyan Amrabat holding a United shirt. Big up to Austin, says, here we go, I'm off work. By the way, guys, after this stream, I'm going to jump from here and jump to United View. So make sure you guys follow me over there at about, I think it's at 10 o'clock. I should be heading over there. Yeah, okay. 10 o'clock, I'll be over there, and you lot can come and we can chit chat on that side as well. But there's a question here, of course. Big up, Mina, what do you rate this window? I said it earlier, and I would like to hear you guys' thoughts as well. I rate this window a 5 out of 10. And some people actually might think I'm being harsh, but I rate it a 5 out of 10. I think it's not bad and it's not great. I feel like some of the transfers we've overpaid. I think the reluctance, or the inability to offload some players has also hindered, my rating of the window. Eric Bailly is still a player. McTominay is still a player. Harry Maguire is still a player. We brought in Johnny Evans, gave him a 1-year contract. Doesn't make sense to me. We let go a lot of academy prospects, guys. A lot of academy players we let go. And the worst thing is we let them go for peanuts. And Austin says Fletcher's kids make it a 10. I can't believe that's so jokes. We signed we were too busy chasing Fletcher's kids that we ended up with Amrabat on loan. But it is what it is. On top of that, I feel like we've let quite a few players go, academy players, for peanuts. Less than 1 million, maybe 2 million, some of them at best. When you look at rival clubs selling people for 20, 30, 40 million. Come on. Cole Palmer to Chelsea just does not make sense to me. It does not make any sense to me. And I remember watching him in the Community Shield thinking, yeah, this kid is good. And someone I know is a City fan and said to me, like, watch out for Cole Palmer, and now he's gone to Arsenal. He's gone to Chelsea. Chelsea's entire team don't make sense to me. I'm glad I'm not a Chelsea fan because I don't have to make sense of it. I can just say it don't make sense to me. But they've spent, $1 billion in the space of 12 months. Do you know how crazy that is? Do you know how absurd that is? They've spent 1 billion in 12 months. We spent 1 billion since Alex Ferguson left Manchester United. You know how funny that is? And they still do not have an identity. They have the weirdest looking team. I don't mean looks wise. I just mean player wise, ability wise. It's just a very unusual team. And every time in this transfer window, I'm like, what the hell? That does not make sense. They still got Lukaku on their books. Bought him for what was it, 100 million euros? Sent him out on loan and then sent him out on loan again. Can't offload him. They're having problems there. They have no out and out. Nicholas Jackson is their number 9. But for that reason, let me go back to this question. For that reason, I rate it a 5 out of 10. I feel like our inability to get rid of players and our inability to sell our academy prospects for a good price has made me rate it a lot lower. Number 1. Number 2, I will say our inability. Ooh, they're reporting from Old Trafford right now on Sky Sports, but I can't hear it. Ooh, some breaking news. I don't want to hear about Reguilon. Stop telling me about Reguilon. I know he's at United. I know he's there. That's good for him. Congratulations to him. Welcome to Old Trafford. I will support him like I'll support everyone else. But I want to see Amrabat holding the United shirt. That's what I want to see. It looks like I will be at Amrabat's debut versus Brighton. Lucky you. I was just saying today that it looks like Amrabat's debut will be at Brighton. And I was like, I could have gone to the game. I opted not to because I've got some commitments on that day that require me to be somewhere else. But must be nice. we've just sold another academy player called Logan Pye. Never heard of him. Is he related to Logan Paul? I don't know, but never heard of him in my life. But we've sold him. He's joined Burnley on a permanent transfer, of course. Tendon Mengi as well has left Manchester United. I'm just waiting for that. Here we go, guys. I'm really, really waiting for that. Here we go. On that note, actually, before we actually continue with transfer talk, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on the Champions League draw yesterday. I didn't do a video of it because I was recording the Man United Arsenal preview with Star Player whilst the draw was on, and then I had to do some stuff afterwards, so I didn't get the chance to go live or anything. But I would like to know you guys' thoughts, because I'm hearing differing opinions, and that's been Manchester United, I think, in a nutshell over the last couple months. Everybody has opposing opinions, and I love it. I love it. But there is no way in hell that people should think that we cannot get out of that table, that group. I'm sorry, there's no way. Yes, hostile environments. Galatasaray, no joke. Turkish league, no joke. Yeah, absolutely no joke. But if we got our heads screwed on, I'm sorry, guys, we should fully believe that we can get out of that group. In all honesty, we should be able to think that we can get out of that group. Bayern Munich, yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. Bayern Munich, Jamal Musiala, Serge Gnabry, Harry Kane. Okay, good team. Backline, Kim Min-jae. Okay, good backline. I'm just not sold on Thomas Tuchel. I am not sold on Thomas Tuchel. I don't know what it is. I think if we can get a result at Old Trafford and hold them to a draw, and we win all our other games, obviously FC Copenhagen. I was going to say Copenhagen. That's how my mom said it. FC Copenhagen. Why am I still saying it wrong? FC Copenhagen. Yeah, FC Copenhagen, I think. Why does it sound like I'm saying it wrong, guys? Anyways, FC Copenhagen. I know that Rasmus Højlund's brother apparently plays for them. That'll be another one. But one thing I'm hoping, guys, is that we just have a good performance in the Champions League. Do you guys remember our last Champions League run where sometimes we looked a bit shaky? Few games we looked a bit unstable. I just want good performances every game in the competition. That's it. And for that reason, of course, and depending on how we actually kickstart the competition, I will be there. Champions League nights at Old Trafford, I will be there. I don't know what game I will go to. Love if I can get tickets to Bayern Munich. I will try my best. But I will be there. But I think we can top that table. Bayern do us home and away. Galatasaray away. Copenhagen away. We get 6 points. We drop down to Thursday nights. Kuala is not optimistic at all. We're gonna cook Galatasaray like a turkey dinner on Christmas. Facts. Big up to Dean, says pity he won't make it back from Italy in time for Sunday. I think that's in reference to Sofyan Amrabat. Dead and Gone says happy about Amrabat. I rate that this club has been reduced to loans. Embarrassing. 100%. I absolutely agree with you, and I feel like people are not talking about it enough. Why are we? No one is questioning why are we getting players on loan? Like, we complained about it. Bear in mind, we did complain in January. People were complaining about it when we got, who was it, Sabitzer and Wout Weghorst on loan deals because we had no money. And now we went and signed 2 players on a loan deal. I understand, I can't lie, with the Reguilon one, I understand it to an extent because I think, you know, Luke Shaw might be back. Malacia could be back. So they have a option to break the loan deal in January window. So really it could be just for the next 4 months or so, next 3 months or so, whatever. But I think for so long we've needed that midfielder. In an instance, I do feel like this could be a stopgap. I feel like this Amrabat signing could be a stopgap in the hopes of Kobbie Mainoo returning and getting fit for next season. Imagine that, guys. Imagine that. Sofyan Amrabat went on hunger strike. He refused to shower. He refused to change his clothes. He refused to turn on any light in his house until Manchester United came through for him, and then now we take him on a 1-year loan and just send him back to Fiorentina. I think that would be disgraceful. Of course, I'm just speculating. I'm thinking of all the possible outcomes regarding this move, but I absolutely agree with Dead and Gone. I think it's ridiculous, a club of our stature getting players on loans. I'm sorry. We should not be signing a player on loan unless it's a player that has something to prove or is a stopgap, a temporary thing. This Amrabat signing should not be a stopgap signing. This should be a position that we are filling for the next 3 or 4 years. Because let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. Casemiro is not staying at Manchester United until 2027. I know his contract is till then, but he is not staying there till 2027. And if he does, we are not getting the best out of him until 2027. Let's be very, very honest with us. Big up to Red Scare. Claire says, I think they've just beat us into accepting their mediocrity. They need to be. Austin just said Ornstein, so I'm thinking there's an Ornstein bomb. I'm thinking there's a no. Was I baited? Was I just baited? I hope I weren't. This is why I should. Here you go. Let's go. Let's have it. Shout out to Austin Baker. Big up. Tagged me in it as well. Appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Sofyan Amrabat has signed for Manchester United. Announcement to come. Season-long loan, of course, 10 million euros with an option to buy of 20 million plus 5 million in add-ons. Medical successfully completed, and Manchester United will be covering his full salary. Ornstein, you know what? I'm just gonna go to Ornstein. I'm just gonna DM him and say thank you for your service. I'm gonna send him his tweet, guys. I'm shameless, guys. I'm gonna send him his tweet, and I'm gonna say thank you for your service, David. Thank you for your service, David, with the prayer emoji. Guys, you think I'm joking? I am sending it to Ornstein right now. You guys see that? I am sending it to him. Thank you for your service. Guys, I am not kidding. I have zero shame right now. I sent it to him. I said to him, thank you for your service. You know, me and David, you know, I call him Dave, innit? I'm allowed to call him Dave. We go way back. Me and Dave, we go way back. We're homies. We're homies. But guys, all that's left now, I guess, is the announcement, of course, from Manchester United. Big up to Abdul Qani says, I'll translate it for you guys. Big up Abdul Qani. So the world, welcome, says basically Reguilon is crap and Alvaro Fernandez is way better than him. Thank you for your comment, Abdul Qani. Appreciate it. And I actually agree. I don't agree. I wouldn't say he's better than him, but I do think that Alvaro Fernandez has a high ceiling that he's not going to have the opportunity to kind of achieve at Manchester United. I think he's not in the club's plans. I don't think he's in the manager's plans. I don't think the manager has any intentions to give him any senior time. I know that he was linked to leaving in the next couple of hours, so I have to keep an eye on that, of course. Santan Dave Ornstein. Don't kill me, lol. We calling him Davey. In the streets of East London. Big up to Davey, man. Always coming through. Man, like Ornstein. You know one thing I like about Ornstein? Not because we're homies, obviously. One thing I like about him is that he doesn't do like baseless updates. It's just, you know, as things happen, he will update you accordingly. Like, I'm not saying that Fabrizio does this, but he does do it, but obviously people are always asking him for updates, which I understand why he always does this. But like I remember the Frankie de Jong thing last summer. Like, we were getting the same information 5 times a day, just worded differently. And sometimes I think that's a bit exhausting to kind of take that in all the time as a consumer of content, as a consumer of news. Of course, I feel like it's a bit too much. Oh my God, Cole Palmer joins Chelsea on a 7-year contract. The poor kid's gonna leave when he's 50. Oh my days. Guys, I'm just catching up with all the kind of transfer news that I've missed today, because I think I've spent a lot kind of focused on Manchester United and obviously Amrabat. But Barcelona completed the loan signing of both Joao Felix and Joao Cancelo. So they got double Joao. I'm just gonna say that's how I'm gonna refer to them, Jow Jow, because they got double Jow Jow. Liverpool have announced Ryan Gravenberch at the club about 5 minutes ago. They announced him. La Liga side Getafe are in talks to sign Mason Greenwood from Manchester United on a loan move. Like I said, Newcastle have made a late move to sign Hugo Lloris from Tottenham. For why? I don't know. Armel Bella Kotchap is set to join PSV on a loan deal. Guys, can we just laugh at Bayern Munich for a second? Can we just laugh at Have you seen what happened to them today? Chalobah, Bella Kotchap and Paulinho all fell through. Of course, the Germany window closes at 5 p.m. I feel very sorry, actually, for Paulinho because he was in Munich. He did his medical, did media duties, signed his contract. The clubs just could not agree. Do you know how crazy that is? The clubs, something happened between Fulham and Bayern Munich, of course, that we're not really privy to knowing the ins and outs, but we know that something went wrong there. And he had to get on a flight, go to the airport and jump on a flight back to London Stansted, probably because he's not flying into Heathrow. He had to fly back to London Stansted because Fulham got a game this weekend. Imagine saying bye, guys, to all your teammates. It's like, you know what this reminds me of? You know when you're with your friend and you say bye, you give your friend a hug, yeah, I'll see you soon, and then you both walk the same way. Do you know how awkward that is? This guy said bye to all his teammates, the medical staff, the kitchen staff. He said to the kitchen staff, your food sucks, I ain't eating that again. And now he's knocking back on the door like, hey stranger, it's me again, I'm back. Do you know how sad that is? That's actually, I feel bad for him. Obviously OGC Nice have terminated the contract of Kasper Schmeichel, 36-year-old. Brother, you just retire. Just because I know you ain't gonna go Saudi, because I don't think he doesn't strike me as the kind of player that will go to Saudi. I'm not gonna lie. Of course, I think today's biggest here we go that I've seen is Kolo Muani joining PSG. Big fee that they've spent. I think it's about 80 or 90 million that they've spent. They've spent about 160 in total on strikers so far. They terminated it. Yes, they terminated it. They said, you ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the F out of here. That's exactly what they said to him. That's verbatim. They said to him, you ain't gotta go home, you just need to get the F out of here. And lo and behold, his contract has been terminated. Maybe he can get a job on Monday Night Football on Sky Sports. Let's see what else I've missed out on. Damn, Luka Jovic. Yeah, I remember when he joined Real Madrid after that great season he had. I can't remember what team it was. I can't remember the team that he had it. He had a very good season with. Oh, it was Frankfurt. He had a good loan season at Frankfurt. And then he went to Real Madrid, just was pants. Was at Fiorentina in the last year. And now he's joined AC Milan. AC Milan, another team that's quietly have had a good window. They've quietly had a good window. And you know what, guys? This is my early shouts for Champions League. AC Milan, Newcastle are making it out of that group. AC Milan, Newcastle, PSG will join Liverpool. I'm not sold on PSG, no matter what players they have. I feel like they've just got too much identities in their team and not enough kind of people knowing their role. And especially with Mbappe now, the main man as always, Neymar gone, Messi gone. They've signed Gonzalo Ramos. They've signed Kolo Muani, signed a bunch of French players. I am just not signed on them. For me, another interesting, I think, move that I've seen today is Nottingham Forest signing Callum Hudson-Odoi on a 3-year deal for 5 million. Do you guys remember when Bayern Munich bidded 40 million or like 30 million for him a couple of seasons ago and they rejected it? Life comes at you fast. I hope Callum Hudson-Odoi has a good season, a good career at Nottingham Forest. I think I'm not saying I'm disappointed for him, but I want him to pick it up, you know, as a football fan. As always, I'm just going through all the signings that I've sort of missed today. Obviously, I think the biggest one is, and I actually want to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Have we seen a here we go yet? No, here we go yet. So I'll continue waiting. Big up to Adam, says big up Mina and the chat. Big up Adam, I hope you are doing well. One thing I will say, oh, what happened to Batshuayi? Don't know, he batted away somewhere. Sorry, yeah. Now, I don't know what happened to Batshuayi. I know Chelsea, I swear he left Chelsea and he went somewhere in Europe. I'm not too sure where. Let's see where he's actually at. He's playing at Fenerbahce. He's gone to Fenerbahce. So he left Chelsea officially actually last year, and he's been on loan to Besiktas for the whole of last season. No, I lied, not the whole of last season, the season before that. He basically hasn't played. He's been at Fenerbahce actually for the last year and a half. He's just not really been making moves like that. Guys. But the biggest, I think, discussion is, we're only 30 away from 1K, guys. Crazy. Like, it's crazy how, it's just crazy, isn't it? It's just crazy to think that this many people would actually want to listen to me just talk about football when I go to family gatherings, guys. Whenever I go to family gatherings, we sit there talking about football. Me and like my cousins. Some of my cousins are big United fans. Others are like Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, etc. And we will always talk about football. Some of them do not watch football, so some of my female cousins, they get annoyed when we sit there talking about football. And I'm just like, yeah, people would actually, it's crazy to think people will sit here and actually listen to me talk about football. So big up to everybody as always. But the biggest, I think, transfer news today for me, of course, is Mohamed Salah and Al Ittihad. I was watching Al Ittihad versus Al Hilal just before I came live, guys. And I'll say one thing. If you lot want to watch entertaining football this season, yeah, especially in the Saudi League, please watch the big fixtures. That had to be the most entertaining game that I've watched since this football season has started. And Premier League has been on for about Al Ittifaq, sorry. Did I say Al Ittihad? No, it was Al Ittihad. It was Al Ittihad versus Al Hilal. Mitrovic with a hat-trick, his first goal, absolute screamer. They came from 3-1 down to beat Al Hilal 4-3. I think it was like 10 minutes before the end. Salim Al-Dasari scored the winner. Guys, go back and watch it. Highlight. But, sorry, I kind of got sidetracked. Mohamed Salah, 200 million bid, yeah, from Al Ittihad, to me is just a madness. At what point do you say this is crazy, we're going to sell you? At what point does the board override the manager? So like in this instance, who do you think is against him leaving? Do you think it's Klopp that doesn't want him to leave because it's kind of late for them to get a replacement? Or do you think that it's the board that want him to leave but Klopp doesn't want him to leave? Does that make sense? Does Klopp want him to stay and the board want him to leave? Or does the board want him to stay and Klopp wants him to leave? Because how are you turning down £200 million? How are you turning down £200 million? My brother, if that was us, if that was Manchester United, our biggest star, guys, what do you say? Okay, who's our biggest star? I'll say Bruno Fernandes. I would say Bruno Fernandes is our biggest player, right? How much do you think it would take on transfer deadline day for Manchester United to sell Bruno Fernandes for? Please, guys, let me know. How has Forest gotten away? FFP is the biggest reason. It sounds so fishy in my opinion. To be honest, Forest let a lot of players go as well. They offload players. They do sell players as well. So I think all I'm saying is their Greek owner, yeah, he can get away with some stuff. Big up to Abdelghani, says Rashford's ceiling's good. What happened to... Oh, no, Rashford's playing style used to be good. What's happened? Amad Diallo, when is he going to be fit? I think Amad Diallo, I think he's out until maybe January. Could be until February. And Rashford just needs to hit the ground running. I think Arsenal might be a good opportunity for him to do that. Had an assist. I think he had 2 assists on the weekend, of course. But he needs a goal and he needs to, I think, kind of pick it up with the goal scoring. Big up to True Legion, says, I feel there is something missing from this transfer window. Yeah, there is something missing. Harry Maguire is still at Manchester United. Shout out to Jacob, still in the England squad, because he's clearly him and Southgate. There's something going on there that we're not aware of. He's got something on Southgate. If you guys don't know, Jacob is Harry's real name. His name is Jacob Harry Maguire. So over here, we call people by their legit name. Jacob is still a United player, and we are one centre-back, I would say, light as a result of that. I think that's what's missing from the window. Saudi have too much money. Klopp defo doesn't want him to leave. Everyone's saying it's too late to replace him. Priceless, not selling ever. 80 million! 80 million, is that it? Is that it? Slap another 100 on that and I would sell Bruno Fernandes on deadline day, in my opinion. 80 million is nothing. 80 million is nothing. But guys, there's 1 hour left of the transfer window. I think the stream is actually going to end here because I'm going to go and get ready and jump on. Have they gone live yet? Because I haven't got a message from Flex and them. I think they've gone live. Oh no, they're probably late themselves. They are probably late themselves as per usual. Now you guys know, this is proof, guys, that I'm not the one that's late on streams, yeah? I hope you guys know, on United View, I'm not the one that's late. Because right now, all I'm going to do is just switch from this to United View. And they're going to be sitting there in the lobby. But big up to everybody in the chat as per usual. I appreciate it. A lot of content coming this weekend. I will do a stream. I will do a stream on the weekend, maybe tomorrow evening, just talking about non-Manchester United transfers and ranking the best transfers, I think. Should I include Saudi in it? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if I'll include Saudi in it. But I'll do a stream ranking, I think, what clubs have had the best windows outside of course, Premier League. And be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. You know what it is. It's the road to 1K here. A lot of content coming over the next couple weeks. Manchester United women's campaign starting soon. A lot of content coming there. And of course, a lot of Champions League content coming. And I will try my best to do non-Manchester United buy belongs. At the moment, I can't do buy belongs for Manchester United because I'm at United View. So I will do it for non-Manchester United games. You know, the big games. Might do it tomorrow. Brighton versus Newcastle would be a good game as well to do it for. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out, guys. You know what it is. As always, it's your girl Mina. Until next time. And until that Sofyan Amrabat. Here we go, guys. Peace.